Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again after a bit of a delay to the 2023 Rogue Invitational. This is the Tailgate Show. We're about to kick off event number 3, day 2 of competition for the CrossFit. This is going to be the Circus, but before we go ahead and get to that, a little bit of information. Event number 3 for the Strongmen, that's not going to happen today. That is bumped to tomorrow. It's going to take place on Saturday, and the rest of the Strongman schedule, it's a work in progress. It's a little fluid and dynamic, so keep checking back in for that, and we'll make it happen. But I am joined by literally a stellar crew here at the desk.
Stellar.
I got Josh Bridges, 6-time games athlete, really close to winning in 2011.
Almost made it.
As Josh pointed out, second place. Can't ask for much more than that. Jason Khalifa won the whole thing way back when dinosaurs were around.
Oh, boy,
and we
here
got
we go.
Ryan Friend knowing all things, all aspects on CrossFit athletes. So we're going to have a fun time. We're going to watch event 3 going down. It's going to be a blast.
I'm just stoked that he said your name, Brian. I was going to say that other guy down there, so.
Yeah, the
Get
accolades
security,
didn't
get
really
this guy
line
off
up.
the desk here.
What a good dude.
So
That's a good dude.
We've got what you would want to do in the rain. You would want to do a sort of a monkey bar killer cage apparatus.
It's perfect.
And then,
It's perfect.
And then an odd object heavy dumbbell
I
overhead.
think this is a perfect scenario for the chaos.
So for the 15 people that were watching the Legends competition, we had something very similar happen to us, like right before we were about to go, which our event had the killer cage in it. Like literally right before we were about to go, it started raining, but then it stopped for our event.
Yeah, it was perfect. This is such a cool event, though, and it was so much fun that right when we brought it up to Katie, it was like, hey, we got to pay homage to the killer cage. We got to bring this back. And so
No
then
pushback from her?
None whatsoever.
She was like,
let's do it. And they actually only kind of wanted to redeem from last year where the cage was short. Really short.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot to it, so it didn't have. So we actually wanted to put something in there where, back like 2011 when they did this, actually give them some trouble.
Was
Like
that
look at this guy's this guy's hands.
So I don't know if the camera can zoom in, but we had a.
Yeah.
It was a killer cage.
Yeah, it got him.
My hands. Hey, is
and
this how long it was in 2011?
I believe it's the same footprint. Yes.
And one important note is, if it wasn't raining, when this originally was programmed and the rules, so to speak, and the standards were implemented, I believe it was going to be you had to do, one full length unbroken, so to speak. If you fell down, hopped down, whatever, lost your grip, you'd have to start back over. You could, hop off at the end, then turn around and come back.
Like Jason
but
did.
Now,
modeled after the Sear dumbbell. Two of the biggest differences, it's all stainless steel and it has a much bigger handle. Practice makes progress with these things. I was chatting with Victor Hopper and he said he's been working with the thicker dumbbell handle, and at first he had to do singles and now he can cycle through them. So we might want to keep our eye on Victor Hopper.
I tell you what, I'd squat snatch that thing in 2 seconds. But what you can do now, the new rules are, if you don't have to do it unbroken. So if you hop in the killer cage because of the rain, and at any point in time you have to hop down, you can just hop right back up and begin where you started.
So what you're saying is they could do what Jason did in the Legends event, which is cool. So that's cool. They can be like the old guys. It's a scaled Legends version is what we're doing right now.
Hey, so we're on the killer cage, and we had to go down, back, and I got down and back really.
You did
well,
great. Yeah,
well.
you did great.
And then I go down and my hand rips. I'm blaming it on my hands. I was just fatigued, right?
Dainty little hands.
I'm coming back and I fall. I didn't fall, but I dropped off. And this
Gravity.
guy comes up. This guy goes, hey, dude, I'll finish the last set for you. I'm thinking to myself, I have 2 choices at this moment. Do I set my ego aside and be like, whatever? I was like, all right.
Yeah,
Go for it,
I'll
man.
take this.
Go for it.
I mean, you also weigh 230 pounds, so it's fair. I weigh.
But he's
I am
part
208
gorilla.
I am
That's true.
I am 208.
208? Really?
No,
I'm like, no way.
I'm like 212.
That's the thing.
208, 12 pounds of triceps.
Dude, that's like the thing about CrossFitters, right? Like, I've never been around a bunch of men who want to say they weigh less and they really do in my entire life.
I'm not one of those guys.
It's insane. I know, I'm the same way. I'm like, I wish I weighed 185, And I'm like, these guys are real. Oh, yeah, I weigh 190. I'm like, there is no way in hell you weigh 190 pounds.
So I was getting ready for a jiu-jitsu tournament, and I was like, bro, I am going to get below 200 pounds for the first time since a freshman in high school. That's what I told myself.
Okay.
And I didn't get there.
Well, hey, they're about to grab the dumbbell. Another
Let's
change
see
just
it,
came in. They can now use 2 hands to get the dumbbell up, where previously, pre-rain, you would have had to use 1.
How heavy is that thing?
100 pounds.
Yeah, let me go ahead and tell everybody, because they don't know. This is 3 rounds of 40 cals on the Ski Erg, 5 single arm shoulder overhead with that strongman dumbbell, weighs 100 pounds, and then you got to do the killer cage down and back. That's
Let's
one
go.
round. Then there's 3 rounds of that.
I want to see how these boys handle the wet killer cage.
Josh, that thing that Kiki talked about, where athletes are now practicing strongman implements.
Yeah.
I think that's a total change in training methodology that's been influenced a lot by what you guys have done at Rogue.
I think, I think so. When I was
Take credit for it, Josh.
Yeah, I think you're right, Brian. I think there's nothing to it, but we just did the right thing. So now
See, some of those guys are wearing grips, right? See, if
Yeah.
I had been wearing grips, I wouldn't have fallen off.
Yep.
and your poor little dainty hands would have been just fine.
Now you're going to be in pain when you wash your hair later on tonight.
Bro. You know, it was all worth it.
What you're talking about, though, Brian, I feel like back in the day, we still did strongman stuff, but it wasn't until it came up in the games that we started to implement that kind of stuff.
How is Travis Mayer still out there doing what he's doing?
Dude,
he's been around
yeah.
forever. He's got, like,
I mean, he's
105
got
kids
like,
in his
I was
family.
just going to say, he's got a whole squad platoon of
Wait, how many
kids.
How many kids do you
I think
know?
13.
4 kids.
I
Four
think-
kids.
He's got 4 kids.
13.
Or 14, 4 to 14, somewhere.
Well,
in there.
4 we know of, right? 4 we know of.
Hey, this is cool. These were the 2 guys that couldn't get off that log earlier today, and they're leading this heat now.
You know what's tough though, dude, is like I was watching Jason Hopper on that log event. It's tough when you're in an event like, because how many total events are there this weekend? 6? 9. Okay.
6.
Tune in for up-to-date information here at the Tailgate Show.
Definitely 6. How many people are here? 7?
For the legends, maybe.
Yeah, right.
Well, anyways, the point I was trying to make
Continue, Jason.
was that similar to regionals back in the day. Regionals used to stress me out more than the games, because at the games you had like 12, 14 events, whatever. At regionals, if you mess up on one event,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to come back in the game. And that's how some of these guys might be feeling right now if they didn't perform well on number 1 and number 2.
Think about how much core was involved in those log muscle ups, and now what is a ski erg?
Oh, my goodness.
Straight.
Speaking of core, look at Noah Olson's
mean-
abs.
Seriously.
Gosh, he's
Like an
got
anatomy and physiology poster.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
I think Hopper's going to hang on to this lead.
Is Olson rocking a mustache?
It's like a
Or
little.
is it an illusion due to the rain?
I see a gold chain, I think.
Yeah, hey, is it Miami?
Yeah, he's got some bling.
Someone's got to.
So wait, is Noah?
You're going to get that thing caught on a
This is
dumbbell.
Noah's last individual event, like the individual competition.
Because he's done with the games,
Yeah,
right?
he's done. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's cool, man. He's been around since 14 as well.
Bro, the guy's
Been
been
around
around.
forever.
I mean,
Yeah.
again,
Forever.
like Matt Frazier did, he hanging it up too early. Good job.
Right.
So here's the question for Jason: is he going to be able to stay consistent on those that killer cage? Because that thing got hard.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Josh, how much would you consider this a grip test?
I think for some of these big boys, this is definitely a grip test. I don't know, like when we were doing it with the legends, people were coming off complaining. My hands were fine. My grip was fine. But so I think
we got down there right now. We got China Cho's going to give us some more information on the dumbbell, the conditions, whether it's slippery or not. China, you out there?
Yes, guys, it is raining pretty good out here, and unlike a normal dumbbell, this dumbbell is fully metal, so it's a lot more slick than a rubber head. So if you notice, a lot of the gentlemen out there are wearing t-shirts. I think that that's really helping them cycle it and not have it slide off your shoulders, because grip is a huge thing and a huge piece of this event, and they got to save it as much as they can, but they are way more slippery than your normal dumbbell.
That looks good.
that Morad, yeah,
Dude, he looks good.
Yeah.
Have you had
He's got a nice
any
flow.
trouble getting that dumbbell up to the shoulder?
Morad's another one that's been around since
Not a lot of
2014.
guys are having much trouble getting it to their shoulders, but they are allowed to use 2 hands to get it up there for safety reasons, and a lot of them are taking full advantage of that. But these guys are super strong. They do CrossFit. They know how to adapt and overcome, and all of them are doing that right now. It's awesome to watch.
All right, thanks, China. We'll circle back with you in a little bit.
Yeah, see, I think it's even with Hopper being a little bit bigger, I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to hold on to this.
But here's the thing about being in the first heat. You know this. Like, it's tough when you're in the first heat.
Yeah, you
Because
gotta push.
you have a
You know this.
How the hell do you know I know this,
Never in the
pal?
final heat. You know this, Josh.
What the hell does that mean, pal?
My bad. What I meant to say was we all know this. Well, I mean, I don't know how many times I was in the lower heats, but
I heard rumors. I heard rumors what happened in those other heats.
I heard rumors of
Cannibalism.
Tell me more, Jason.
But the truth is, when you're not in the top heat, it's tough because you have a false impression of how well you're doing. And I'm serious. I'm not talking about just you.
No, I know. But you again gave up. You gave up in your prime. It's not my fault. I did. I lingered. I wanted to burn this thing down. I wanted to burn the bus down and go as hard as I could. I made the individuals as a master, like age athlete.
Hey, at least he's here. Frony quit on the show.
Exactly.
Hey, check this out. Speaking of first heat, Ricky won earlier event today out of the first heat. He's currently in second to last in this one.
Ryan's watching the competition.
Oh, yeah, Brian.
You guys are talking trash.
Hey, Brian, pipe down. We're talking about me right now, okay?
Are we supposed to be adding value about the competition? No, this is good.
No, yeah. I mean, I just wish I could have seen you out there in your later years. Like,
You know what?
You know?
Yeah.
I saw you on the Echo bike there earlier.
That one was not on my cards, you know. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened. You know, obviously, for those people that don't know or are listening, my daughter got sick with leukemia, and so I stepped away from the sport. And she's fine now, but I do wonder sometimes, like, if she hadn't gotten sick, how long would I have gone for? It's something I think about sometimes, right? Like,
oh man, you gotta set priorities.
Well, no, of course.
It's amazing that you did. You know, like.
I think we'll agree that was an appropriate one.
Way to go, Josh. I'll remove the foot from my mouth and I'll walk away now. I apologize.
But it is something I think about. No, honestly, like, because you're right. I took third place in the games, and then that year I went team.
Yeah, no, you went for it was in 14. You took me over.
Oh, shit.
I was in the final event, and I was like, I was in third.
Yeah, you were in third.
I was in third going into that final two events, and then all of a sudden I'm watching Tommy Hackenbrook because Hackenbrook was behind me, and all of a sudden out of nowhere I see fucking Jason Kleepa's name. I'm like, what the hell?
So that one. Jason Hopper's about to go against the Killer Cage, but back to us. No, because that one was the year we did double grace.
Yeah.
And,
right.
Yep.
And I was in 5th place, and I honestly didn't think, or maybe even 6th or whatever, I honestly didn't think I had a podium contention.
Talk about it.
Well, you had two events.
You know.
You had thick and quick and double grace
Thick
back to
and
back.
quick.
There's a lot of points on
And
the line.
there was a lot of points on the line. And yeah, it was crazy, man.
I was like, oh, I just gotta watch Tommy and just stay ahead of Tommy. And all of a sudden, I'm like, Jason Kleepa, what?
And even it was, if you were watching at home, you could see, you know, all the lights were on Rich, but right behind him, it was like you weren't far behind him.
No,
you were
yeah,
like
he
2
was
reps, 3
crushing
reps
it.
behind him, the whole thing moving steadily as well. And I was like, damn, Jason might be picking up a lot of points here.
Hopper's crushing this, man. I think this is gonna be a really good time. Wait, why didn't he just? That was weird.
That's
Wait, is he done?
Yeah, he's done. I think it's gonna be a good
Nice
time.
work. Nice work.
Great job, Jason.
You know, it always makes me wonder. You know?
Oh, no.
You know, it always makes me wonder, right?
What?
Like, you look at Noah. See, he's hustling.
Yeah.
But now, Jason Hopper kind of like jogged across.
Yeah.
What if someone gets him by a second?
Heat one mistake.
Heat one mistake, baby. I've been there. I've been there.
And take
You know.
You're right, though. You don't know what's going to happen next. You better hit the gas.
Dude, bro, bro, is that BKG?
Yeah, these are final heat games, guys, and heat 1 at Rogue. That's how this competition is.
But let me tell you,
That's true, man.
but BKG, talk about a guy that's been legit for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
BKG's been legit for a long time.
Yeah.
3 guys in this heat that have been at the games level or higher since 2014.
2014, yeah.
Yeah, Morad, BKG, and Noah.
He is one person of many who made an absolute fool of me as an analyst. You know, just didn't give him the respect he deserved, didn't get the attention.
Oh, nice.
No.
That's a raspberry right there.
Bailey Martin, New Zealand.
Let's see how that side of that leg looks tomorrow.
That's a raspberry.
Sacrificing the body.
I like it though. I like the effort.
So Jason Hopper is going to join us eventually here because he won that heat, and we'll get a chat with him about what that experience was like.
I was talking about that, what you were saying earlier, a second ago, Brian, though, how this Rogue event is, it's actually, like, it is
That's how I
it is
felt
more
earlier.
stacked than the
Oh,
games. You know what I mean? It's
100%.
crazy.
Yes.
It's like this event is so hard to get to.
You have to qualify for it within 3 or 4 months of it happening.
Yeah.
And then once you're here, you're going against the fittest guys on earth right now.
Right.
And you can do
Like-
perfectly well here and still finish 15th in an event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
And that might happen to Ricky Garrard right now. After winning this
look
morning.
at his hands. Look at his hands. See? Bro. I feel so validated right now.
I did it. I did it too.
Okay.
Free and clear.
Well, you guys, they have
We
40
all-
muscle-ups, 120 snatches in the morning.
That's true. We don't have that tomorrow.
That's not very comfortable with hands like
Tomorrow
that.
morning?
Tomorrow morning.
But we hit some dumbbell bench press.
Yeah. Basically
There's
the same
knurling
thing.
on those dumbbells.
Yeah, basically the same thing.
Same.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Damn, that'd look nasty.
Oh, man.
yeah.
Oh.
Has he got the same too?
Oh, man.
Oh, the grip is just, I don't know if the grip's smoked or if it's slippery.
I think it's the grip. You know what?
What do you really feel? So how do we feel about what Noah's doing right now? Right? Like we can bring it up.
here's
We can
some
talk
real
about this.
talk.
I
Okay,
don't.
all right.
I'm not a fan, right? But maybe.
What I gotta say, I think, is this has been Noah's character from day one.
It has.
So in the
has.
case of
He's
Noah,
consistent.
it's just
He
Noah.
Is, it is. He is
Consistent.
consistent. You're right.
It's not for every athlete.
This was the kiss of death, though. It's like if you come over while I'm in last place in a heat, like we're gonna fight afterwards.
Right.
All right, just so you
Like,
know.
I thought he was going for a high five. It didn't happen.
Dude,
What's the advice now? Get back up there and grab the bar.
Hey, keep going. All right.
I got a good cue for you. Grip harder.
Here's your cue. Be better.
I was snuck in a workout last night at the hotel gym, and China chose 28,000 times fitter than me. Like, as she's doing something, she walks by, she's like, "Good job," and in my head is like, "Don't tell me good
Don't
job.
tell me.
I know that I'm going slow.
No,
I don't
I'm
need you
awful.
to tell me that I'm going slow."
I'm gonna go home and think about this for a while.
Oh,
Oh man,
That-
I hope we
that
just finish it out. What
sucks.
do we have for time cap here? Is it 15 minutes?
You know, but
Yeah.
you,
But at least he's up there and he continues to go,
100%.
man. That's awesome.
he's fighting,
Yeah.
but think about it this way. Look at how the sport has evolved. Every athlete that has qualified for this, which is hard to do, is going to get paid, right?
Yeah.
Every
Yes.
single athlete.
Yes.
How cool is that?
And bro, I was telling a friend of mine today, it's hella money on the line because you got like 1.3 million.
And I'm out.
Right?
1.6.
1.6
6 events, 9 events.
million.
What's $300,000 between friends?
Hey, that Bitcoin's up 30%,
That's
baby.
right.
Let's go.
Go.
But no, what I was saying is like, dude, to see the sport get to a point, and Rogue, I think, is by far, I mean, they are the largest contributors to this. What I love about this event is that they get athletes paid, they highlight them, and they're showcasing, they're trying to grow the sport of strongman and CrossFit and even bring in the legends
Yeah.
so that all the tide rises
Yep.
together. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
A rising boat lifts
like-
all ships.
A rising tide.
A rising tide lifts all ships. That was a
all
sailor.
boats.
Port-
Wait, was it?
port
Thanks,
starboard.
shipmate.
Yeah,
Wait,
thanks
wait, Pat.
Sure, that hat,
all
shipmate.
all bullshit aside, wasn't your official position in the Navy like a tying? No, that was somebody else I was talking to.
Uh-oh.
What was your official? Obviously, I know you were.
Was he?
You were-
I think he was a seaman.
What's the question? I was a cook.
No.
Is that Steven Seagal movie?
Oh man, I didn't realize this guy was on his
Oh,
second
shit.
lap. Oh man.
Yeah, you
That-
wondered about that. Like,
that was tough.
Yeah.
his grip just must have been completely
Yeah,
gone.
no
Yeah.
joke.
That's hard
Wait,
to
was
see.
was I wrong on the position? Am I mistaken for the Navy? We
mean
can talk
like
about this
a-
offline. Is that what we're gonna?
No, like a lieutenant or petty officer.
No.
or-
So like, if you, even though you could be a SEAL,
Yeah.
right? You still go in underneath a specific like job.
No, that
was-
would be for him. Yeah. So he had like a. What was your like? What is it? Darn word for? It's not
My
rating.
Not rate. I was in SO.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
New
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah, I was new generation.
right.
I was an old generation.
We're talking a different language now.
Seal
Forget it,
talk. Yeah,
forget it,
Jason
forget
and I
it,
are
okay.
tuning out.
Hey,
Forget it.
Brian. So how about them? And 49ers.
yeah.
I would say after watching one heat of this, I think the athletes handled that dumbbell very well.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
for
so,
sure.
too.
I
Absolutely.
thought that might trip some more guys
Let
up.
me do my official
That
weather
dump-
report as I look out the window and look at the puddles, which it doesn't look like it's raining
it doesn't
or
look like
barely sprinkling,
Yeah.
maybe sprinkling at the moment.
I was thinking China's like, it's boring out here. I'm just thinking, well, it's pretty nice where I'm at right now.
I saw,
Right, yeah. We're in the rogue tent's bone dry.
In the road tent, it's perfect.
those dumbbells were so cool looking.
Oh,
those
yeah,
things are
man.
like a thing of beauty.
10 minutes. When you, does that shake out in your head as what you thought a quick time would be for this? Or you think
Yeah, I
that
thought-
we're going to see somebody juice it up even a bit more?
No, that definitely seemed about right. 40 calories on that skier, so 120 calories total. You're looking at probably for 120 calories.
For
What?
me or for Jason?
No,
6
so you're looking at like
6
Yeah,
minutes?
maybe 7,
Six,
6
7
and a half,
minutes.
6 and a
Yeah.
half minutes probably. So yeah, that makes sense right there. And he handled all those guys handled that dumbbell extremely well.
It came down to the killer cage.
And we played with that weight, too. We actually had it going in a little lighter, and then we had a couple of people test it. I know, right?
I did not expect you to say lighter.
I didn't either. And but we were like, no, that's the wrong weight. We have to go up. That'll be too easy and quick. And I think with that 170, though, I think that's going to be the right numbers.
You said it came down to the killer cage. To me, it looked like almost everyone did hit a little bit of a wall there. That would have been really interesting to watch if they had to do them unbroken.
Yeah, that would have been.
Yeah,
without rain, without the elements.
Yeah.
For sure.
But the killer cage, the reason why I'm saying it's the factor is because, well, the dumbbell didn't look like the factor. And you saw some people who had to drop off, or even some people who slowed down, you know?
It's going to be interesting to see the second heat, how this one plays out.
Oh, bro, this could be smoke.
You know, the
heat.
There's my pick right there in the white
Chandler
shirt.
Smith?
Who would have thought?
We're about to chat with Jason Hopper. Here's Jason. Gentlemen, feel free. Free fire zone. What do you got
Jason
for
Hopper.
Congratulations,
What's up, boys?
Nice job.
Nice
work. Bounce back.
Yeah.
I love to see
If I'm peeking to my right, it's because I'm watching this heat.
Yeah, no worries.
Hey,
You just
eyes
did
over
it.
here, pal. Eyes over here.
Yeah, you just did it. Was it
Hey.
was it the dumbbell? Was it the cage? Was it a bit of everything? What's your analysis?
Yeah, it was a bit of everything, honestly. I knew I could pull the ski a little bit better than most of these guys, and so it was honestly the cage for me. You know, the dumbbell is 100 pounds, 220, so I'm gonna be able to move it pretty well. So it was honestly the grip and just, you know, staying relaxed, honestly, on the cage.
How slippery was it, and did you have anything on your hands like grips or whatnot?
Yeah, it was very slippery. I had grips, but I mean, they were working a little bit, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's all slippery.
You did great, man. How many times did you have to come off the killer cage?
I think once, honestly. It was the second round, and then.
All right, so you did
Actually,
scale.
no. I jumped off twice. Once I knew I pretty much had the lead, I was slipping for my life on the last 5, and so I came down one time.
Oh.
Jason, we saw guys ripped earlier today. Some guys bloody hands. Now, how are your hands holding up?
Well, I didn't do all the bar muscle ups, so I mean, I got fresh hands. It's all part of the plan, man. It's all part of the
Tactics,
plan.
baby, tactics.
If you knew you weren't going to be in the top 10, I mean, you got to play your cards right.
I like it. I like where your
make
head's
your
at.
money where you can.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
There's a whole lot
Paid
of
off,
events
baby.
left.
Paid off.
I mean, 3 according to Jason, but we got more events left, so you got some time, brother. But yeah, keep up the good work, man. You are great to watch.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
It's not killer cage.
I wanted to ask him if he should have ran at the end, but I wasn't gonna.
You should have, man. Don't be scared.
should've.
Don't be
I
scared to
should've.
talk. He's not going to beat you up.
You know,
I'm here to protect you.
yeah, I got Josh. I mean, you know,
Okay, who's there? Who's
Roman. But yeah.
Roman's
Roman,
gonna
who would
do
have
well.
thought? Yeah, who would have thought? Roman's there. It'll be interesting to see how he does on the cage. I mean, that boy's got to weigh 230.
oh, dude.
I think he's. If the stats are right, let's see.
And Dallin, too, same, man. Like, those dudes are so big.
Kronikov is listed at 6 foot 227.
Woo!
Jeez.
But look at that hand wrap,
Thanks.
bro. That's what I'm gonna need for the rope tomorrow, bro. That's right. look at that.
Okay, nice. That
Wow.
looks good.
Yeah.
That's a good flow. He's using that sway right?
Yeah.
Those hips and those legs are
Not
like
bad
that.
moving 100 kilos down that cage.
I was watching your sway from behind you. It looked damn nice.
Thanks for noticing, pal. Thanks for noticing.
That's a sweet camera shot.
Yeah,
right
man.
behind like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a cool implement, right? It's just like straight up school ground, playground, like movement. Can you literally just pull yourself across this apparatus?
Very visual.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's one of those things that doesn't look overly difficult, but
Right.
who has this to train in
Yeah.
their garage or gym?
That's 50 feet.
Right.
Right. Yeah. That's not a short.
You might see a 10 bar
Right.
rig, something like that, but they're also probably not spaced that much apart.
Yeah.
So
Man.
Roman walked into this event sitting in 4th place.
So that's 3. So you did a 3-minute round there. So I mean, he's on pace to do a 9-minute. So that'd be a minute faster than Hopper.
I wouldn't be surprised if he actually goes a little bit faster because, like, he already tested out the killer cage. He knows how it's going to feel, stuff like that. Who knows? He's going
Yeah.
to hold on to it.
Yeah. I wonder if he came out hot on that first set.
I mean, he's a big guy, man.
Dude, yeah, that Ski Erg is like, he just like
This is basically
bends over and it's
Roman
like,
and everyone else right now.
Do you
Yeah.
think the body types have changed over the years for what CrossFit demands today compared to even 5-10 years ago?
it is interesting. You know, you don't see all that often like the shorter athlete anymore. It used to be CrossFit played into like really short people
Yeah.
like myself, you know? And but now, man, you see like guys like Roman back in the day,
Right.
they
They're
couldn't
too
hang.
tall.
Yeah, they're too big.
Yeah.
Jason, when you walked out there, let's say you were going to do this event, right? I'm curious as to what's going on in your head versus what I would think was going on in your head when I would watch you as an analyst.
Nothing.
Did you have a plan and then go out there and execute it, or were you like, I'm going to feel out the first round and then it's a blank canvas after that?
It's a dogfight after that. You know, this event would be good for me because I get to break up the killer cage. So the reason why the killer cage was hard for me today is because I did 2 back-to-back. So for me, like this
Tore
event.
up your hands.
Oh,
Well, yeah, but it also gives me, like, dude, I would be trying to relax my grip if I can on this ski, right? Finding ways to kind of like open my hands up.
Yep.
The shoulder over head would be a non-factor if I had been training, you know, for all these guys, right? But for me, dude, I mean, I would just
You'd go
go.
hard.
I'd go hard. Because
You would go hard or go home, I know.
That's right.
because here's the thing, Pat. On an event like this, like, honestly, you got to win in each area. Like, you got to win the ski. Like, if you go too slow on the ski, you can't make up time on these other implements.
You're kind of stuck in a pace at the other ones.
That's right.
I
Yeah,
think.
that casual switch with a 100-pound dumbbell between the legs.
Yeah, no kidding, right? That looked good,
Man.
Yeah, these guys are making it look good.
Yeah.
Another big athlete here, made a big name this
Right.
season for himself, and he's doing pretty well so far
And
here.
he's doing well at running events.
Dude.
Right? Running events.
So-
That is not, yeah.
Supposedly he was a judo guy.
Oh, okay. Big thrower, huh? Big thrower.
You know, Roman went out really fast last night on that ruck. You guys watch that?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
What was his split?
Well, it was the first half of the first mile.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, everyone was caught up to him by the
Yeah.
last quarter of it. It was really kind of strange. He went out really fast here again, and he's made this mistake a couple times at the games. I'm not sure this is a mistake because he's really good on the machines.
Yeah.
But he has shown this propensity to not be afraid to kind of push the pace early and see if people can keep up.
I wonder if his idol was Jason Khalifa back
Hey,
in the day.
you know what? Him and I haven't had too many conversations, but
Maybe he looked up to you and you didn't know it.
maybe.
There's an influence there.
Yeah.
And then the other guy in this heat that's doing the opposite is Vellner. He's pretty much
Dude.
seems to have the slowest split times on the ski, but he makes up all the ground on the other 2 things.
I like Pat Vellner.
Oh, I see some rain there. I saw some rain on that.
some rain.
Oh,
that
man.
angle.
We need to get just a list of quotes that I've heard over the day with
I
the
like.
show. It's been fantastic.
I like Pat Vellner.
You know what's interesting too? Here's the interesting look at the flags.
Yeah, man.
I mean, obviously Romans is not present, but
Yeah.
for everybody else, like, dude, back in the day, 10 years ago, those were all U.S. flags,
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Those days are gone.
Yeah.
right? Isn't that crazy?
Oh, we've got China Cho down on the field with some stands. Down there with some fans. Going to do a bit of a fan interview. China, what do you got?
Guys, we're out here with a crew from Fort Worth, Texas. I don't know how much it rains in Texas, but is this normal weather for out here?
Texas doesn't know what it's doing.
So my statement about Texas weather is drunk is correct.
100%.
Right. So these guys doing this dumbbell out here, how impressive is it in the rain to see them doing this kind of stuff?
Wild. The fact they haven't busted yet is like incredible.
Oh my gosh. Do you think that you could do this out in the rain?
No, absolutely not. Nope.
All right, well, the fans say that this is a really challenging event and they have no business with it and they don't want to do it.
Thanks, China. Roman's making
I
work.
was just
of
gonna say,
this
I'm like, is he gonna get that 9 minute? Is he gonna have that 9 minute time? 3 minute
Have to
rounds?
move here.
See, this is where it's going to get tight with the Hopper's time.
Yeah.
If he had just sprinted,
Well, he's at 10. He was at 10:01. So I don't
I'm
know how
sure
tight
they're-
it's going to be, especially if he switches hand in the air and doesn't drop that dumbbell.
oh,
between,
not for Roman. I mean, like
Yeah.
the rest of the crew.
Oh,
The
gotcha,
rest of the field is
gotcha.
going to be very close to Jason, I think,
Gotcha.
or at least
Yeah.
the next couple guys. Roman's got a 20 or 30 second split time lead.
Yeah.
Dude, he is killing it.
Yeah, I was just say, I'm sure his muscles are burning, and a fantastic quote that came off of when we were doing a show earlier with the Strongmen on, like just like watching the Strongmen do some crazy event. One of the guys was just like, you know, you get that lactic acid just making your muscles burn you if you believe in that kind of stuff. It's like the best quote I've ever heard.
You believe in that kind of thing?
All right.
Just suck it up and go. If you believe in that lactic burn, I don't believe in it.
I feel like these guys are moving.
Whoa.
better.
Wow.
Is it me? Or are they moving better on the killer cage than the first crew?
Dude, well, I think that, look at the shoulder, like, range of motion on this. Like, all of them are just
I
like,
didn't have that as a newborn.
dude,
Yeah.
I lost that when I was born.
How about Fikowski? Fikowski's been trying to go to the CrossFit Games since 2011.
Yep.
It is 2023. He's been going to the Open and regionals since 2011.
And he was 4th place this year.
Yeah.
Like he's still at the top.
Wow.
He is
Dude,
at the top of the
That is his first Invitational.
Yeah.
He's had a good career.
Yeah, he has. He's
But
had
you
a
know
great
what?
career.
He's very youthful. He's very youthful. Like
Explain.
Like he's
Especially for a Canadian.
wow. Just like he looks young.
No, he does, yeah.
I don't know how old he is. How old is he?
I'm going to guess 34.
Kowski 33.
33.
And there's going to be a battle
Is he
between him and
just
Velma
walking?
here.
Just walking in.
9:18. Almost beat Hopper by a minute. Oh, nice turn. Nice little flow there.
And a stroll across the finish
Yeah,
line.
nice little, what do you call that?
That's
There you
gonna
go, Brent.
be- Oh, that's gonna
There you
do
go, Brent.
wonders for
Brent has actually had a ton of games victory, event wins.
He's legit. But
Yeah.
how many times has he been on the podium, Brian?
Podiums at the games, I think only 2. But event wins is a very fun stat.
He's tied me. He just tied me. I know. That's a good stat.
Tied for 3rd best all time.
That's right.
2 ahead of the other guy on the setup here. And that's the guy who's in between you two.
I know.
Let me see.
Yeah,
all-time event wins.
Fikowski was 9th going into this event.
That's going to be good for him.
Yeah,
man.
Hey.
100%.
Oh yeah, Josh, you got me on event wins.
I know.
Yeah,
You might have more gold medals, but I got more event wins, pal.
Did they give out those little trophies for those all the way back then as well? They give the little
like
plaques or
2011
whatever.
they gave like the wooden plaques with a clear thing. Yeah.
Like 2012, I think they
That
started.
counts as a trophy, so I think you got more trophies.
That's just a matter of fact.
Another strong finish for Yellow Host Day.
Yeah.
put up
And
another
all
shelf
4
in
of
your
these
house.
guys over 6 feet tall.
Okay, so I
right.
guess my whole hopper thing didn't really carry water here because
Yeah, it was a big gap there. Yeah.
big gap.
Still 4th place for Hopper, very good finish for him.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
oh!
There we
Here
go.
we
There
go.
were 3 guys. Let's go. Nice, Sadler.
That's 10 points over Chandler that he just got on about 0.2 of a second.
Wow.
Got to run.
And that might
Got to
actually.
run.
Well,
You've got to run.
That might play
Do you
into
remember-
some of the back end of the first heat too.
Those times would be very tight.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sherwood,
Wow.
are you talking about Neil Maddox right there? Was that a Neil Maddox reference?
No, but I guess it probably could have been.
Oh,
But so many athletes, countless athletes that just 15 feet from the finish line got to pull up a little bit, shift
yeah.
down a gear or two. You're like, no, no, no.
I lost a beach workout to Yonikuski because of that. He came out of nowhere.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
He
2016?
came out, yeah, he came out of nowhere. I was like, what the hell?
Oh,
I
the
lost that.
start of that workout was crazy. 'Cause
Yeah.
He was like 200 meters out and then a hard right turn.
Not 16. I think it was 14's beach workout.
That was Jonas' first year.
Yeah.
Okay. 2016, he also won. It was just 500 meter swim.
Yeah.
oh,
And then he
yeah,
pulled
yeah.
out from the competition after banking 3K.
That's right.
Tall
That's right, his
people
back
doing
was hurt.
CrossFit.
Yeah. I know, man. Oh, okay. I like that little
That's a cool little.
Yeah.
What do they call those these days? GIFs?
gif.
GIFs? Is it
Jiffy?
GIFs?
Starts
Peanut
with
butter?
a G. But nobody knows how to
GIS?
say it.
I love that one too because you said you haven't talked to Roman much. He's a super funny and fun person to be around, and you can kind of see some of his personality there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, one day I'd like to, my advice for Roman is if he wants to continue to build his brand up because he's being very dominant, he's got to speak English.
He's actually coming a long way. It's just the confidence of doing it in public. And
Yeah.
this happens to athletes even who speak English as a first language. Is just
Roman?
not being comfortable in front of a camera. But he's getting there.
Yeah,
Roman,
good.
you heard it here first, man. Listen to Jason.
I'm just trying to, I want to see him being gazillionaire. Just like all these,
Gazillionaire.
I want all these guys to be super
No,
successful.
True. I agree.
And if you can't build a brand, if people can't get to know you, I mean, this was a good spin move right here.
I was. I know. It's
Yeah,
like
he did a fantastic little toss.
just
We're
walking
gonna toss
across,
down
baby.
to a second
He
here
knew
with,
his time. He knew his time.
Kiki D, who has Roman down on the field.
Congratulations on your event win. We had a little weather come through while you were out here. How did that affect things?
Ну, в принципе, немного начало смущать, что дождь идет, да, что будет не совсем стандартно для соревнований по кроссфиту. Ну, в принципе, когда первый заход начал, я такой уже подумал, ну все, погнали. Все в одинаковых условиях.
It was similar conditions for everybody. In the beginning, it was very hard to think that they're gonna work out during the rain. But then when everything started and everybody started going, it was fine.
This event with 3 different stations, which was the most difficult and why?
Ну, рукоход манки-бар, соответственно. Ну, а на первых 2 я отдыхал.
The killer cage was the hardest. The first 2 he was resting at.
After this event win, you may currently sit first overall. If that's the case, what are you going to do tomorrow to keep it that way?
Приду домой, помоюсь, хорошо поем, позвоню жене, сыну, поговорю с семьей. Буду хорошо спать, и завтра вернусь еще с большей энергией.
He's gonna go home, take a shower, eat, call his wife, talk to her, talk to his son. Then he's gonna sleep, and then he's gonna come back with more energy than he had today.
All right, we look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. Thanks, Roman, and congrats.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Hey, there was I feel connection.
Yeah, that's right. He listened,
Right,
man.
yeah.
He listened.
So, go ahead.
No, you're
I was going to ask Brian, do you think he understands the questions Kiki's asking him? He's choosing to have the interpreter?
I think he understands 75% or more, yeah.
Yeah, she's getting comfortable.
I think he likes the
He's just getting
affirmation.
comfortable. What's troubling is when, he speaks for a long time in Russian, and then the answer is, short. That's
Yeah.
it. But so, fantastic event. Had an absolute blast. Quick closing thoughts from everybody. Brian, what are you walking away from?
The big guys took that one, and the elements I don't think played much of a factor in the end. The athletes rose above it.
Jason?
I thought it was great to watch. I thought Roman killed it, and I thought Roman killed the killer cage. That was super exciting to watch, and I'm excited to see how it shapes up the rest of the weekend.
And Josh, as somebody who had a hand in the programming,
I played out really well. I thought the workout was fun. In my head, I did not think it'd be like a big guy workout, but that's interesting that it did play out that way.
man, they crushed it. Gentlemen, thank you. This was an absolute blast. I think I haven't laughed that much in a while. Hopefully everybody at home had an absolute great time as well. That is the end for the men as far as CrossFit competition on day number 2. That was event number 3, but we still have the women coming up. So more action coming soon here from the Tailgate Show. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Tailgate Show here at the 2023 Rogue Invitational at the Dell Diamond Stadium in Round Rock, Texas. This is day 2 of the CrossFit competition, and we're about to bring you the final event today for the women. It's event number 3, the Circus, but before we get into that, joined by some incredible talent here at the desk, I've got Samantha Briggs, your CrossFit Games champion from 2013, just an icon in the sport, and Annie Sakamoto, legend as well, multiple-time individual competitor, crushed it as a Masters athlete as well, so welcome. Glad to have you guys here.
Thanks for having us.
This is going to be fantastic. And you both competed today on the killer cage, right?
Yeah. Competed.
Hey.
I think what we're doing is called performing,
Okay, all right.
but we'll take it.
How was it? Was it a blast from the past? Were you ever on it before?
We actually did the killer cage
Yep.
together.
Yep.
Oh, you
In the
did?
same heat. Yeah.
Was that not the one where I put the chalk print on
It
you?
100% was.
Oh, I forgot about that. That is bringing me back right now. So for anyone who's potentially unfamiliar with this event, the Circus is 32 calories on the Ski Erg. Then you've got to do this Strongman, heavy dumbbell shoulder overhead. It weighs 70 pounds, 5 on one side, 5 on the other. Then you go down the killer cage and back. That's one complete round. You got to do 3 rounds of that. Now, before the rain came, we've been dealing with rain and inclement weather off and on. It's pushed the schedule around, but we're making it happen. You would have had to pick up the dumbbell with just one hand. That's gone. You can use two hands now to get the dumbbell to your shoulder. The other change due to weather is if it was bone dry and sun, you would have had to go one entire length of the killer cage unbroken. Then you could hop down, take your time, remount it, and make your way back. Had you dropped down at any point, you would have had to start back over at the beginning. So now that has changed. It doesn't have to be unbroken. If at any point in time you start to lose your grip, it gets a bit slippery, you can hop down where you are and start right back over right there. So doing what we can.
I think that's great because I think it'll keep the race kind of moving. Had these girls had to stop and go back to the beginning, I think it would really slow things down. So.
And we saw some of the gentlemen come to a grinding halt on the killer cage, and everyone's feedback was that that was the crux of the workout. So unbroken probably would have been an absolute bear with the wet the wet bars.
Definitely. I will say, after being on them earlier, because it rained, it sprinkled a little bit of sunshine right before we went on, and the bars they had roughed them up a little bit in a good way. Like
Yeah.
it
So it was
rained
still
right
grippy.
before. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
grippy.
Sam, is this a sort of event you'd have put a smile on your face, or no?
That dumbbell's a little bit,
Yeah, awkward and heavy.
yeah. Maybe if we were just doing a farmer's carry with the dumbbell, I don't mind the ski. The killer cage was fun to do earlier on today, so yeah, it would have just been that dumbbell, I think.
2 out of 3 is not bad. Like the ski erg, you like
Yeah.
the killer cage, then deal with the dumbbell.
Yeah.
Yep.
Adapt and overcome.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what we've had to do here with all the rain and weather that we've faced. But that's part of being flexible, not only running the event, but the athletes as well, right?
Oh, definitely.
Be ready,
yeah.
we're going in 20 minutes. Be ready, we're going in an hour.
Right.
Okay, we're going now.
Exactly. And that's hard. You're thinking about like your nutrition, your recovery, everything like that. And it can be a little nerve-wracking when things aren't on time. But I think Rogue is great. The safety being the #1 issue versus the show. The safety of the athletes is the most important. And so they've done a good job,
Yeah, and it was good to hear from the gentleman that just went that the dumbbell, the concerns were, is it going to be slick? How's it going to be getting up there? Because it's larger than normal and a bit odd, but that didn't seem to be an issue, so that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I think they're lucky as well that today there was only 2 events. So even though there's been a delay on this event, it's not like they still have to then prepare for another event.
Right. After this, just get a meal, go home.
Yeah.
It's dinner time.
Yep.
I feel for Shelby Neal right there. I was telling Sam, I can never grab both ski erg handles at the same time. I'm so short, I literally have to tippy-toe to one side and then tippy-toe to the other.
You get an extra jump in there.
There you go.
Now, I asked this to the guys as well. If you both were going to do this workout, you probably don't have a killer cage at home to train on. You don't have that dumbbell, that's for darn sure. You've got potentially a ski erg. So you've done similar things, but not exact. So to the best of your ability, with all the workouts you've done, you try to formulate a plan as to how things will feel. Where should you push? Where should you hold back? Do you go out and stick to that plan pretty well, or do you look at, I thought I'd be walking to the dumbbell. They're sprinting. Like, do you change it on the go once it's actually 3, 2, 1, go?
I think a lot of these athletes have enough experience that they know kind of like their paces and their game plan.
Don't get sucked into somebody else's pace.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that more newer athletes kind of like fall into that trap. Whereas the more seasoned athlete, they know where they can push, and so like if their decision is go hard on the ski, walk to the dumbbell, but I know that if I walk and take that few breaths, I can get it unbroken. They're not going to get sucked in if somebody else is kind of running or doing something different.
And the machines are such a great way to do that on, because usually like this is my pace. I can pull 900, 1,000 calories per hour, and I can get off and I can do something. So you have that visual feedback for you when you're skiing or when you're on one of the machines.
I'm going to expect Spiegel to really struggle with this weight.
First, look at her.
Sort of throw it into orbit. How would this have been for you, Andy? You're one of the smaller athletes in stature, but you're, ridiculously strong. Do you think that dumbbell, that loading is it a definite, no doubt about it, get it to the shoulder, do 5?
There's a definite no doubt about it. I ain't getting it to the shoulder and doing 5. Yeah, I mean, I struggle with the 50-pound dumbbell, but which just shows you where this sport has gone in such a short amount of time. Like those ladies, and not just Danny Spiegel, who obviously we knew would handle it really well. Most all of those ladies handled it like it was no big deal.
It's the evolution, right? Because when I was talking earlier with some people on the show, and somebody said, so-and-so, let's say the back squat was heavy. And it's like, well, heavy now or heavy 10 years ago? Because heavy changes every few years.
Yep.
Oh,
and what was unthinkable a decade ago is now, like somebody's 1 rep max 10 years ago is in for 5 reps in a 3-round workout.
100%.
Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, I bet 260 was a heavy back squat for the guys
Right.
10 years ago.
Absolutely.
And these girls are repping out sets of 5, no
While
big
out
deal.
of breath after doing muscle-ups.
Totally.
Not looking like a struggle for Danny on the monkey bar.
No, she's still handling that pretty well.
Yeah.
So it's looking good for her as this event.
There's definitely, it took me the second time, maybe the third length of the monkey bars today to really feel like I could figure out the rhythm on the swing. But you can see on the athletes that get the good rhythm, kind of your legs and hips moving with you.
A lot of athletes out there wearing grips. Did either of you wear grips?
Yeah, I did.
I did
definitely. I know that a few ripped that didn't wear grips, and I didn't have any problems. So some of the advice that I was talking to some of these female athletes after we did the event, I recommended to wear grips.
Okay, and was that not to tear, or did it help actually, like, with your traction on the bar?
One, not to tear, but also I did feel like I wore them not to tear, but I felt like doing it, it had a really good cutting on it.
Okay.
So I felt like I got decent traction on the monkey bars with grips on.
I didn't wear them. There was one moment earlier I was like, ooh, this bar is pretty rough. I wonder if I am going to rip, but I ended up being okay. But like Sam said, there was definitely
You only weigh 10 pounds, so it's not really that much.
I'm like 11.
Khalifa tore his hands up, he weighs,
like,
Lord only knows what.
210,
Right.
yeah.
He's always been the same weight, has he not? He's never changed.
Yeah, exactly. He was born that way.
Probably. But yeah, we saw a couple people rip. I think Margot ripped.
Yeah, Rich ripped.
Oh, Rich ripped, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Rich was like, I've not ripped for 10 years.
I think Spiegel's got the whole deal to make a statement in this heat.
Yeah. Well, and I think a big part for her is just that, like we were saying, that dumbbell is nothing. It's like a no-brainer to get it to her shoulder and get it overhead.
Yeah, it looks actually like effortless.
Yeah, it looks like a 35-pound dumbbell.
You can see she's comfortable with racking the dumbbell as well to the back of the shoulder and keeping it centered on the weight.
Oh, you jinxed her.
Oops,
Yeah,
sorry,
right?
sorry, Danny.
And with a 70-pound thick dumbbell, it's just this easy swing transition to hands, and it's right back up in the shoulder.
Right. Yeah, you see some are able to go right over to the other shoulder. Some have to go down, almost like kettlebell swing back up to the other shoulder.
Danny's smart, though, and she knows that she always hits a couple home runs, and so if she thinks she can earn some points, she's got to get after it, drop that gas, maybe take a bit of a chance and get some points.
Yep. Impressively going unbroken again.
And impressive that we've got China Cho down there going to give us a little update, I believe, on the killer cage.
Yes, guys, it's not raining quite as hard out here anymore, but the bars are still very wet. And just like the gentleman said earlier, the killer cage seems to be the hardest part of this entire workout. And a lot of the ladies are shorter than the men, so they need to be a little bit more strategic on where they drop, because there are only 3 risers, and a lot of them have to make a really huge jump or would have to move the riser if they fell off the monkey bars in the middle. So that definitely changes a lot of things for the ladies.
China, are you getting any sense of how many of the women so far are able to go the full length unbroken, or are they hopping down and hopping back up strategically?
So quite a few of the ladies are going the first round unbroken, but even on the first set on the way back, they've had to break multiple times just due to grip. Like I said, a lot of the gentlemen were saying their grip was the major issue here, and so I can see the ladies going down unbroken, but definitely breaking a lot more on the back half.
Thanks, China. Thank you, China. We'll circle back with you in a little bit.
And like China was saying, they have to be so much more strategic in when and where they're going to take those breaks, because with the risers only being, the one middle riser,
right,
I think it was interesting as well to see the difference between how Dani went and Bethany. Like, Dani was obviously really comfortable in a good rhythm, like going one hand to each bar, whereas Bethany was a lot more slow, but like steadying herself every time.
It's that stutter step, like one hand, the next hand, one hand, the next hand.
I think that goes back to the athletes knowing what they're capable of doing. It's like Bethany still went unbroken, but she just needed a little bit more control, whereas Dani was a lot more comfortable swinging all the way through.
Yep.
Can you go too hard on the ski erg on this?
Yeah. I can.
It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
You're still using all those muscles, like especially if you think about your lats muscles, they're the biggest ones that are pulling down the ski. And then you've got to open that muscle group up for the swing on the bars. So.
And the little kick on the backside of the ski, you know, hits the triceps, and then you got to get that heavy dumbbell overhead. That hits the triceps.
And moving heavyweight overhead while you're still trying to catch your breath.
Yeah. Yep. But again, I think that that's where the machines are great, because most of the athletes at this level, they know what their capacity is on that machine, and it's right there in front of their face on that monitor.
She's
just got to hang on, get as many points as you can.
Yeah, she's actually opening up quite a big lead now, which I think will stand her good, because obviously there's still another heat of women to go. So she's not definitely looking around and thinking, oh, I've got it easy. She's trying to put a score up that will stand well for the next heat.
And you have to think, you know, she's amazing yet human. There's got to be a little bit of fatigue setting in, so just riding that razor's edge once you get to the cage. Don't go to full muscular failure on your grip. Like, if you have to take a tactical jump down to shake it out, like, don't go to failure. Then that might cost you 30 seconds longer as you have to recover.
Well, you saw them that we were talking about, the run into the cage and walking. The first round, she was running. This one, she took her time. She's like getting her breath back, making sure that she's ready.
Yeah, smart.
But this is her last round, so I think she could push the grip issue on this one. You know, she's got a good lead.
Still looks smooth.
Super smooth. Quick little chalk.
Bethany, a little run stutter instead of a walk.
Fake it till you make it, right? I'm impressed with Bethany on this event.
Yes.
I don't know that I would have pegged her as doing this well right now.
I think even though with the issues with her back, she's not been able to do as much pulling, but I think she's obviously still been doing a lot of strength work. I see her doing a lot of single arm strength, a lot of single leg strength. So that dumbbell is probably like still a comfortable movement for her, as opposed to a heavy deadlift or something.
And
So
Dani
impressive.
needs to realize that there's another heat coming, right? So she just can't be like, oh, cool, I'm winning.
Right, exactly. You're racing both heats, not just your heat.
And talking about the grip, that was the first time we've seen her like
Slow down.
Well done.
Wow.
Fast work.
Unbroken, everyone.
We will wind up catching up with Dani Spiegel in a little bit, since she is the Heat 1 winner. Bethany is doing herself a lot of favors here. This is going to be a nice number of points for her.
You can see it's getting hard. Oh, that might have been her first break, but like China was saying, super strategic right there where that riser is.
Get to the riser, get to the riser, get to the riser.
You could see the grip fatigue on her face too. She kind of...
Well, and grip's one of those things that if it actually hits failure, you're just like, oh, man.
It takes so long to get back.
Yep.
Oh, this looks like it's going to be close.
She's going to make it.
Did she time it perfectly?
She's going to get it.
Oh! Oh.
Nice.
I mean, that's, yeah.
Well done. Nice work.
That was
nice
good
work.
Good work.
Strong finish. Really nice job. Really nice job.
Good for Bethany. Look at that hairdo, too. That is amazing.
I mean, that's sort of just sustained pulling grip work. I mean, again, no one has a killer cage in their home gym. Those legless rope climbs, or what you're going to do to kind of...
Well, I think, you know, anything that you're doing that is building grip
Farmer's
capacity.
carry.
Yep.
Tearing phone books in half.
Sam does that.
Do that all the time.
Yeah. Do phone books even exist anymore?
I like thank you. You weren't supposed to say that, fellow Masters athlete. I like she's got a towel attached.
Well, I think
Smart.
Will Morad had a towel
like
on his pants too. I mean,
I like it, yeah.
When it's wet out there, it's really good. And it's been so humid here, so like between the rain and the sweat, super smart to have that towel around. Oh.
So she's on her last traverse now, but she's still got quite a lead over the next few to come through, so hopefully she can hang on to that.
No pun intended. Nice and steady. Yep. Oh, so close to the end. Solid work.
Good job.
I don't see
So
the
potentially, Christine can catch Karen right now. You can see the pain in her face.
Yep.
I think it's kind of the frustration as well. It's like, you know you can do this, but like we said, once the grip's gone and your body's not doing what your mind is telling it to do.
Yeah.
It's those darn things that don't have hip drive, right? It's like if you fail on a shoulder press, you're like, okay, we're just gonna wait around for a while because
it's like handstand push-ups, anything, Luckily for Karen, she was tall enough she could just jump right back up.
Time. We'll catch up here in just a little bit with the Heat 1 winner, Danny Spiegel. Showing the crowd a little love.
Yeah. Only 2 ladies finished in this heat, huh? There you go. He's riding home right now. I just gave Danny Spiegel.
That's right. Give me that back. I'm going to sell it on eBay.
Did you just snort?
Look at this guy. Yeah, I snorted. Look at this guy. He's like, do you want my water bottle?
Yeah, great job by Danny again. She's obviously a tremendous athlete. She's here, but she's known as a home run hitter, and by that very definition, she usually has a couple events that don't go her way, so putting some big points on the board when it works out well for her, she's exceptional at that. This is a strong event for her.
Well, and I think, you know, Rogue is such a good event for Danny because there's always some odd object implements. There's always kind of some more of the strongman stuff, and that is where Danny does well. And so it's fun to see Danny get to shine at the Invitational.
She came into this event. Where's she in the leaderboard here? My leaderboard's being weird, sorry.
Leaderboards can get weird.
Yeah, I know, right?
How did it get dark already? Like, what happened?
It's dark. Like you can't see outside.
Oh, wow. That happened quickly. We'll have Heat 2 coming up here shortly. Before that, we'll catch up with Danny Spiegel. This is her 3rd Rogue Invitational appearance. She's been to the games 4 times as an individual athlete and just barely missed the games this year in 2023. And when we say she's strong, her listed numbers, 420 deadlift, 370 back squat, 270 clean and jerk, and a 2 1/4 snatch.
So she's probably looking forward to tomorrow's 1 rep max deadlift, right?
I would say so. I would say there's going to be some more points.
Pat, what's your 1 rep max deadlift? Is that not nice to do to you?
No, it's fine. Deadlift, I just pulled 405 for a double this week.
Okay.
I
So,
saw on your Instagram.
I
You were showing off about that.
yeah, I got to get it when I can. So probably not much more than that, you know?
That's good, though.
Yeah, maybe let's call it 4 1/4. 405 for 2, we'll call it 4 1/4.
That's good for 50.
Now I get into one of those deadlifting suits, it'd be 800 pounds.
Definitely, definitely.
That was a great shot of the stadium. Heat number 2, getting ready to go here for the Circus.
So I think for this heat, like we've been saying that it's coming down to the grip on the monkey bars. You've got to think of Laura Horvath. Like her grip from all the rock climbing days.
She's probably going to struggle with that dumbbell though, huh?
Oh.
And Sam was saying they were at an event in England, was it?
Yeah, it was in the UK, and she was pulling cals per hour on the ski, the same as Pat Vellner.
I believe that 100%.
So I do not see this workout being a problem at all for her.
Which is great because right now she's tied for first place with Laura.
Ooh.
So this could be a nice way to end day 2.
But you see, nobody can ever like count Tia out on any workout.
No.
Well, absolutely.
So this is actually going to be a pretty exciting one to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we've got Kiki Dixon right now with, oh no, we've just got the Heat 1 winner, Danny Spiegel. Danny, good work.
Hi. What's up, guys?
Nice job down there. Fast work.
Thank you.
Making some money. We saw you really struggle with that dumbbell.
Yeah, that was the hardest part.
Yeah, by far.
I really needed to be lighter next time. That was awful.
How was the killer cage, grip, fatigue, the whole, was it wet?
It was wet. I mean, it was really slippery, but honestly, you just had to get into like a rhythm. And I figured out like really quick on the first like maybe 4 bars on my first round that if I like used my grips to my advantage and like got into a rhythm and was able to like flip it over, like I could get a good enough grip to where I could make it. But you can't slow down. It's almost like I equate to like running on ice. Like as soon as you kind of stutter and stop, you fall. So I just was like, you just got to go and just like hope for the best. And it worked out.
Was your plan to go unbroken from the get-go, or did it just feel good enough that you could do it?
Originally, when like I thought the bars were gonna be dry, yeah, it was to go unbroken. I was gonna just, with the bars being wet, just kind of go up there and like see what happened. But once I got into the rhythm, I realized that like I should be able to hang on and just come down at the end.
And for everybody watching at home who hasn't been out in the competition floor like yourself, you're aware of this, but how do you realize, okay, I got another heat coming. I've got a comfortable lead in this heat, but that don't matter. I got to keep the pressure on because I've got another group of women coming up after me.
You're literally like, what I do is like if I'm out there and I'm in the lead and I start to get comfortable, like if I'm like, okay, I'm gonna catch my breath, like that's when I'm like, stop that, because like this heat, they're not catching their breath. So if you've got a lead, you just like, if you ever get to a point where you feel just a little bit comfortable, you're not pushing. So you got to go.
After 3 events, how's your body feeling?
Honestly, it's like feeling pretty good. My feet are a little tender, like the arches of my feet from like carrying that heavy bag. I don't ruck with 80 pounds on a consistent basis. Right. So my feet are a little sore. Other than that, like my body's not too beat up. Ask me after tomorrow with like all those power snatches and then a deadlift.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be a different story.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you throw down. Thanks so much, Danny.
Thank
you. Get yourself a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks. Really appreciate it, guys. Congrats. Thank you.
All right.
There we go, making a statement.
Yeah. So here's what we have to chat about.
Okay.
Mom strength. Okay. 6 months postpartum, right?
Yep.
It's amazing that she's here. She's doing incredible so far, tied for first place. Do you expect her to stick around there, or do you think as the events go on, Tia starts to fall a little bit?
Oh no, I 100% expect her to stay in the top 3, if not.
She still has that killer
2.
mentality.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and now she's doing it for more than just her. She's doing it for her daughters, her family. It's like there's more purpose behind it.
Yeah, you saw her talk about that in one of her recent Instagram posts. And she got emotional, I think, like for one of the first times, about how much it meant to her to be an example to her daughter. And that can be a wildly driving force.
Yeah, and I mean, I believe her. I've got 3 kids. I've never wanted to work out harder. I don't know. I'm still perfectly comfortable going slow. But if it works for her, fantastic. But everybody's beatable, right?
Yeah.
Or is there an asterisk there, or is everybody beatable?
No, everybody, I truly believe everybody is beatable. Yeah.
And if you think about it, like her coming in this weekend, it's like nobody's expecting her to win.
Correct.
If she comes second, third, fourth, even if she came last this weekend, nobody would think anything different about her. They'd be like, it's awesome work. You've just had a baby and you've come back and performed at this level.
Yep.
But if she wins, what does that create?
Okay. Yep, looking forward to see what she can do. But Horvath is putting herself in a fantastic position here. And it looks like, I can't quite tell looking out the windows here, but looking at the camera, it looks like maybe the rain has started back up again.
It does look like it.
But they're committed at this point.
Totally, and you know, like Danny said, like it definitely made those bars a little bit slipperier. But it looks like a lot of those girls are all wearing their grips, and I like what Danny said, where she started to, it wasn't just about having the grips to protect her hands, but she used them to her advantage. Like she was able to kind of help swing with them.
And like she said, it came down to that rhythm. Once you're in the rhythm, don't stop.
Yeah, exactly. I love it's like running on ice. As soon as you stop,
Right.
it's over.
Keep the momentum going.
Yep.
I mean, it's actually a pretty amazing spectacle, right? You're in a baseball field, under the lights, there's like music pumping, there's a light rain falling, you've got a circus dumbbell there and a killer cage. It's a pretty great spectacle.
It kind of reminds me of 2011 when you're in the tennis stadium, that kind of like feeling.
Yeah.
Just feels like everybody's around you, the lights are on.
Yeah, definitely. There's something about that baseball field that is just so fun to be out there. I think kind of that, you know, the perspective when the crowd is wrapped around you, it's not just straight. It's really fun. She's just push pressing it almost.
I know, she's so strong.
They should have made her do strict press.
Yeah, just her.
And her face doesn't show any expression of discomfort.
No.
At all.
No.
She's probably wishing it was heavier.
And here we go,
and
see
longer.
the cage.
Yeah, like I said, we knew she'd have no problem with grip. She doesn't even need to wear the grips for hand protection or anything. Her hands are so accustomed to like chalk and just grip and rip.
Look at the lead too, I mean, my goodness.
Emma Carey
Calm and
handling that.
collected.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
She's handling that pretty good. Yeah, and you know, Danny was talking about how it took her a few rungs to kind of find the rhythm, but I would imagine somebody like Laura having climbed, that's an innate rhythm for her.
Yeah, you probably figure it out a lot sooner.
Oh, strategic break.
Yeah, it could be, and the rain looks to be
coming
steadier and a bit heavier, at least, judging by on screen, than we've seen in previous heats, so who knows how much of a factor that is. But regardless, she's making quick work of the cage.
Yep. Last round, I think.
I was just trying to remember what Danny's time was.
I think it was like 10:52.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I think you could see Laura like coming around the top guy's time, around that 10:05, I think was like the top guy's time. I think you could see Laura either just pipping under it, depending on her last run, or being around that just over that 10 mark.
Yeah. I think Roman was actually in the 8s, wasn't he? I don't know.
Oh, I'm thinking of the first heat of the guys. It was Noah.
Yeah. This is how old I am. I thought we were already at 8 minutes, but we were at 6.
No, you just can't see the time.
I see the 7 now.
I thought it said 8 too.
Okay, good.
I thought it said 8. Then when it clicked to 7, I was like, oh, she's doing better than I thought she was.
Okay, I feel good now that my eyes are still intact.
When I start doing this one, trying to
that makes so much
make it
more sense,
bigger.
because when you said 10 minutes, it's like, I don't think she can do all that in another minute.
Same.
But I was off
by 2 minutes.
I'm just going to bring my spectacles.
She's got plenty of time left.
Yeah.
Sean's been wearing his spectacles.
Sean's
He looks
been rocking. He
fantastic.
pulls them off. Yep, he's looking great.
Yeah.
And now he can see everything. just getting after it. She just knows one speed, just
Yep.
you know, attack.
Well, and what's great about Tia is she knows how to stay in her lane. She knows Horvath is going to pull hard on that skier and come off before she is. And, you know, Tia's not going to do anything stupid to try to keep up with Laura.
Yeah, she's not going to self-sabotage.
No.
Like, she wants to win, and she knows what she can do on each workout.
You don't want to try to keep Horvath's pace on the Ski Erg. You don't want to try to run with Sam Briggs on a 5K.
Very true.
20 cals ahead of anybody else. That's what she pulled
Man.
away.
She knows she can just seal the deal.
So smooth. I love being able to hear that count from the judge.
Just emptying the tank, but trying to ride that line to leave just enough in that you don't crash and burn.
Right. Like 2.5 minutes to Danny's time.
I like it as well that none of the athletes are wearing a belt for a 70-pound dumbbell shoulder head.
Wow.
I remember at the games one year when we had the 70 pounds, and I'm just like, wrapping that belt up.
Same. I think regionals in 2012, did we have a 70-pound dumbbell?
Dumbbell snatches.
Yes. Yes.
At regionals, yes.
Regionals, right. With a run or something, a
It
short
was
run.
obnoxiously heavy at that point in time.
And we didn't have one at our gym because, like,
nobody did.
Yes, so we were taping 5-pound plates, and they were flying off when I was practicing. I mean, that says a lot. We didn't even have a 70-pound dumbbell in our gym.
Right.
I don't think we had
then.
dumbbells back then. It
Were they
wasn't
not
until
invented?
it was like when the Open had the dumbbell snatches. Was that 2016, 2017? Dumbbell snatches with the burpee box jump overs. All the affiliates had to go out, and there was a shortage of dumbbells because
Right.
everybody was trying to buy 35s and 50s.
I remember that.
Okay, I'll tell you a good dumbbell snatch story. So we did a lot of dumbbell snatches. Yep.
Good work, Laura.
Just coming in under Danny.
I mean, good for Danny.
Yeah.
Like,
What did Danny get?
I think she got 10:52 or
50,
yeah.
50 something.
I mean, so good for Danny
Wow.
because
Danny's time's gonna hold up amazingly.
yeah, Laura barely beat her.
And that just goes to show you, right? You never know what's gonna happen in the other heat.
Right. Good for her.
What was your dumbbell snatch story?
Okay, so we did a lot of dumbbell snatches at at the original gym with Greg and Lauren. So there was one day it was just me and one other guy taking class. It was Lauren that was coaching us, and she said, "All right, we're gonna snatch with a barbell today." And I was like, "Oh, Lauren, you can't snatch with both arms at the same time." And she was like, "What?" And I'm like, "You're silly, but
Silly.
you're gonna see. Nobody can snatch
We
with
can't do
both
that.
arms." at
It's
the
just a dumbbell movement.
She was like, just trust me on this one.
This is what they do at the Olympics.
Yeah, right. There's actually a sport
what's
dedicated to this.
That's a good finish for Emma Carey as well.
Great finish.
Talking about mom strength, here's
Yeah.
Ariel.
It's cute. I saw her walking around with one of her little kids earlier. She's such a sneaky athlete, isn't she? She's like the new era Val Vobrel. Val Vobrel was like that,
Oh my
you know?
goodness, yeah. This is Ariel's third appearance at the Invitational. Last year she was 10th.
Ooh.
But she was third at the games this year.
Yeah.
She was. That was an awesome finish for her.
Unbelievable.
It was good to see her on that podium.
And the fact that she's, you know, supposedly only training 1 to 2 hours a day, doing classes.
Tomorrow is her 30th birthday.
No way.
Yep. Yep.
Let's get a cake.
Happy birthday to Ariel.
Well, I hope
One
she
day
doesn't
early.
go out and get too drunk tonight.
Guaranteed she will.
Still has more work to do.
Yeah. Is this Paige Powers' first year here at the Invitational? Do you know?
It is her first
First year,
Invitational, yep.
yeah.
She's been to the games twice as an individual and twice as a team. Only 20 years old.
90 seconds. Lawson
Emma Lawson. Emma Lawson did great here last year.
Oh yeah, she's the
Oh, yeah,
threat.
that's what I thought. I thought I saw some blood.
But we've got 3 or 4 athletes left still
Yeah,
out
I
there.
don't think there's, I think you're right. I think right
Yeah.
around there.
We've got a minute left.
Yep.
I was telling you that so you could see the time.
What's that say? Alex Kazan, who just crushed that first workout today.
Danielle Brannan. I think Emily Rolfe was still out. I don't know if there's anybody else. So this is her last traverse. So.
Yep. Danielle looks like she's kind of doing what Danny Spiegel was talking about, like utilizing the grip to her advantage.
Come on, use those legs.
Yeah.
It's getting the legs moving. Like
Yeah.
Danny said,
Yeah,
as soon
for
as you
sure.
stop, you
Yeah.
lose that momentum.
Yeah.
You need to keep those legs moving.
Every bit helps. 10
She's
seconds.
got 10 seconds. Come on.
She can at least reach the end, right?
Nope.
Oh, that total fatigue.
Yeah.
Oh, one more bar left.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to touch that last bar. Laura just doing exactly what she needed to do.
It's
What
gonna keep things alive though coming into tomorrow because
Uh-huh.
Tia coming in just behind him. Tia will have come 3rd overall, I
think
think, on
so.
this. The points is still gonna be so close going into tomorrow.
Yep.
There she is, jumping
amazing. That's fantastic.
That was so good.
I didn't understand what was happening.
You know what's funny is when they have us do those things in the back, you feel so ridiculous doing them, but that was amazing.
It was
that
great.
looked so good.
When they're well timed and well used, they're just they're a home run.
That
Man,
was
this one,
epic.
you guys both called it walking. It lined up so well for her, and she just decided, you know what, you want to give me 100 points? I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. She's almost push pressing that way, and even Danny Spiegel it was a more visible jerk for
Yep.
Spiegel. She's legitimately almost push pressing that dumbbell.
She crushed it, and we've got Kiki Dixon is down there with the overall winner of event number 3, Laura Horvath, who's going to set herself up really well, closing out day 2 of competition.
Dixon.
Yeah. Laura, congratulations on your 5th career event win here at the Rogue Invitational. Roman won this event for the men, and when I asked him what was the most difficult thing, he said the killer cage. Would you agree with that? Why or why not?
Yeah, definitely. Like the ski and the dumbbell was there to like slow us down a little bit, to be there like as an obstacle. But it was all about the cage, the monkey bars.
Now we were watching your replay on the Jumbotron, and you were kind of picking apart this or that, even with the event win. Are you just always in competitor mode, even if it's against yourself?
Yeah, I think I am.
Great way to finish the night. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys, you're awesome. See you tomorrow. Thank you.
Big congrats to Laura Horvath. That's absolutely fantastic. This closes out day 2 of competition across the side of the house. 2 more coming up, but now with 3 events behind us, Sam, you know, what are you walking away, you know, what's your overall take on what's happened so far?
Just that I think Tia's hungry to prove that she's not out of question. And Laura's obviously hungry to prove that she didn't win the games by chance.
Exactly.
Totally.
The matchup everybody wanted to see. What about you, Annie?
Well, I love, we're 3 events in, but we have 6 events to go. There's 3 events tomorrow. There's 3 events Sunday. So that's a lot of points and a lot of opportunities for things to still shake up. So I love, again, I think obviously Tia and Laura, who we're looking at, but you just never know. I mean, there's a bunch of events, and they're going to be very different, I think, than what we've seen so far.
And anyone who's been around the competition for a while, as an athlete, a fan, an analyst, if you've got a multiple-day competition right now, don't fall in love with the leaderboard.
Yep.
It could change wildly. There's some events that are known, some events that are unknown, so there's more excitement coming. Absolutely appreciate everybody out there watching. Hope you've really enjoyed the broadcast. We're having fun doing it. Keep up to date on what's going on with the competition, what's happening with the schedule. Go to roguefitness.com to stay up to date with the latest information. For Samantha Briggs and Annie Sakamoto, I'm Pat Sherwood. This was the Tailgate Show. We had a blast, and we will see you back here tomorrow for day 3.